After establishing themselves with their first two incredible albums, Foals took a hard right to redefine their agenda. Armed with nothing but big beats and even heavier riffs, they set out to show the world that rock and roll is not only alive, but thriving.
Well, welcome back to Who the F**k, the show that aims to take a deep dive in some of the acts performing across festival season in 2022. And today we're looking at part 2 of the magnificent Foals. If you missed part 1, you can go back and watch it. There's like a little up in the top corner here. In today's episode, we're featuring 2013 onwards, I think. Let's just get straight into it. If you've never heard of them before, hopefully this video will help answer the question, who the F**k are Foals? Okay, they've released their first album. They formed, released their first album and their second album, bagged their first Mercury nomination. The whole indie rock scene of the mid-noughties is huge, and then in November 2012, they released their newest single, Inhaler, a record that takes a completely different angle from previous musical explorations, one that drops the math rock sounds of 2005 in favour of some giant AC/DC and Led Zeppelin guitar riffs. It's the sound of a band pivoting into something bigger and bigger, and I couldn't love it any more of a try. A track review from Pitchfork compares Inhaler to Spanish Sahara, describing it as what starts as a deceptively elegant Japanese garden song Morse pattern lurches upward through 3 pre-chorus gears to a climax that speaks of precisely how valuable their studio time was. Over the cusp, it's a vast, swaggery, swampy riff, powerful enough to shatter concrete foundations, sounding a little like Rage Against the Machine. In December 2012, they would debut their next single, My Number, on Later with Jules Holland. My Number returns to the familiar sounds of early Foals, but approaches it from what was more of a mature angle. They're a band that has spent years exploring their sounds and have figured out the secret sauce to make an absolute banger. It's also the most popular record on 229 million streams on Spotify. They released their third studio album, Holy Fire, in February 2013, which most importantly became the Music Club Album of the Year in 2013. I've got distinct memories of walking around Bath listening to this record. It was also nominated for a Mercury Music Prize in 2013 and gained a Metacritic score of 76. AllMusic describes the album as, on Holy Fire, the third album from the English band, the post-punk revival is given a newfound sense of depth, creating songs that are rhythmic enough to draw listeners, but hyponic enough to leave listeners lost in the wide open spaces. The album also featured the incredible Late Night, which is an amazing music video. And their live staple, Providence. Which I've always described as a cowboy record. Like, you know, like, I'm trying to explain it, like a horseback, sunset in the background, or along a ridge. That's how I've always thought it was Providence. In April 2014, in an interview with NME, Yannis said, over the next month, I think we're going to really start writing tentatively. We've already got some bits and bobs around some riffs and some vocal melodies. I think until May, we're going to go back to Oxford and write in the stink box and see what happens. And then, in June 2015, they shared the album's title track, What Went Down, premiering on Annie Mac's Future Sounds, which would have been a very early episode of Annie Mac's Future Sounds. This was followed up with a single, Mountain at My Gates, in July. That record's ending is just absolutely next level. They released their fourth studio album, What Went Down, in August 2015 to critical acclaim, scoring 77 on Metacritic. DIY scored it 100, stating, there's a consistent feeling that instead of edging towards going one bigger, the band embraced their calling. And if Foals didn't already have enough songs in their arsenal to top festival bills, they've just added 10 more. The album is a bloody masterpiece. It also features live staples Birch Tree, the epic album closer, Knife in the Ocean, and my personal favourite, London Thunder. In August 2015, they were going to perform a secret set at Reading and Leeds. which happened to be my littlest brother's first ever gig. Yeah, I took him to his first ever gig, which happened to be Reading Festival for the day, and it happened to be the Foals Secret set. It was his first ever gig. Ridiculous. They went on tour across the UK and EU in February and March of 2016, followed by a run of shows in America supported by Peace and Everything Everything. This was before going on to headline the Friday at Reading and Saturday at Leeds for RNL 2016. This was the first time they headlined a AAA festival. I was there and it was great. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate it. Part 2, hey? Let me know what you think about these splitting into 2 parts. I just didn't want to overdo it. The integrity of the video, I think, is really important. If you're enjoying this, hit that subscribe button. We've got loads more content coming from here. If you enjoyed the band or this video, then hit a like. I really appreciate it. And if you've disagreed with something I have to say, or agree with something I have to say, oh, God forbid, drop a little comment section. I'll reply to them all. Let's just wrap this little video up here. I think it's cool to keep this one nice and short. These 2 albums are just absolutely brilliant. And again, it really feels like once you get past album 3 and into album 4, you move from being a hot band to a great band. And they're about to move into the next chapter. So I think wrapping this bit up here is really, really important. I fucking love these 2 albums so much. I really do. They're absolutely great. What's your favourite record? Mine's London Thunder from those 2 albums. I think it's absolutely amazing. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. And I will see you for part 3 in the next one. Cheers. Bye.